When this teacher pinched that girl's cheek, she immediately had bad luck. On the way home, her bicycle hit a rock. This caused the teacher to immediately fall into the ditch. The reason the teacher had bad luck all came from this little girl. She also looked like other little girls. However, as soon as she was born, she was cursed. If someone touched her, that person would have bad luck. Because her mother touched her head, she died on the spot. Her father didn't even know his daughter had such a terrifying power. He carried Ari to her grandmother's house. As a result, he died on the way. And her grandmother also accidentally touched her head. So she also died soon after. From then on, she was adopted by a monk in the temple. Day by day she lived in obsession. Because of her, the people around her had to die. As time passed, she also reached the age to go to school. When Ari first went to school, her classmates all thought she was a strange child. Although it was sunny, she still wore that yellow raincoat. While the other kids were playing with each other, Ari just played alone. She even brought a lizard with her. One day, Ari's classmate was very curious to ask her, "Why does it not rain but you still wear a raincoat?" Ari said she was an alien and anyone who touched her would be unlucky. But her classmates didn't believe it. Even the teacher didn't believe Ari. After that, the teacher stepped up and pinched Ari's cheek. Unexpectedly, the curse immediately took effect. On the way home, the teacher rode her bike straight into the ditch. This incident quickly spread throughout the school. Since then, Ari's classmates had all believed her. When she just appeared, everyone was immediately afraid to stay away from her. However, only this boy named 𝙍𝙗 wasn't afraid. The boy later became a good friend of Ari. The two of them went to school and talked together. Until one day on the way home, Ari's pet lizard suddenly jumped into the mud and disappeared. Seeing that, 𝙍𝙗 immediately helped Ari catch the lizard. 𝙍𝙗 immediately jumped into the field, and he tried to find until it started to rain. However, he still hadn't found the lizard. Both of them felt very disappointed and sat under the awning to shelter from the rain. For the first time, Ari took off her yellow raincoat and put it on 𝙍𝙗's feet. They sat next to each other until the rain stopped. As a result, the next day 𝙍𝙗 was seriously ill. Ari was so regretful, she decided to leave the school. Since then, 𝙍𝙗 hadn't seen her again. Not long after, 𝙍𝙗's family also moved into the city. Many years later, 𝙍𝙗 had grown up. However, he still remembered Ari from all those years ago. Therefore, on the summer vacation, he immediately went back to his old house to visit her. Fortunately, he finally met Ari. Ari loved reading, so 𝙍𝙗 read books with her. When hearing that Ari liked to drink apricot wine, he quietly stole apricot wine for her to drink. When hearing Ari said that she liked to eat sushi, he immediately asked his father to make a full box of sushi all night, and gave Ari as a surprise gift. This was the first time Ari met someone who treated her well. Because of that, she fell in love with 𝙍𝙗. She couldn't control her emotions, and then kissed 𝙍𝙗. But unexpectedly, her curse once again harmed the one she loved. The next day, 𝙍𝙗 immediately had bad luck. Ari was really pitiful. Because of the curse, everyone who came into contact with her had bad luck. When she was a child, her relatives died in turn just because of touching her. And after growing up, she also fell in love with a boy. But just because she couldn't control her heart, she kissed him. The next day, he was immediately seriously ill, and had to be hospitalized. For possessing this terrifying power, Ari could only be single for her life. To protect the one she loved, she decided to leave. Time went by so fast, 5 years had passed. When meeting Ari again, 𝙍𝙗 was completely ecstatic. He hadn't seen her for a long time. This time he definitely wouldn't let her leave. 𝙍𝙗 immediately took off his shoelaces. He then tied Ari's legs to the chair. He just felt safe when doing so. That night, they went out to eat and talked happily. However, Ari knew that she was unable to love 𝙍𝙗. This time Ari came to say goodbye to 𝙍𝙗. She said she would go abroad. Hearing that, 𝙍𝙗 was so heartbroken that he wanted to keep Ari, but Ari was still determined to leave. Finally, Ari still left. But 𝙍𝙗 was completely unaware of the secret behind Ari's curse. Actually, she had an illness. When she was a child, her family got into a car accident on the way. Ari's parents died on the spot, and she was lucky to survive. But in the process of saving her, the doctor didn't carefully transfuse the blood of an HIV-infected person to her. Thus, the poor girl was infected with the disease of the century. Ari didn't know what the disease was like at first, until she found out for herself and knew everything. Since then, she had always worn a yellow raincoat. And when meeting everyone she said she was cursed and didn't let anyone touch her. This secret had been hidden for more than 10 years and no one knew. Until one day, 𝙍𝙗 went to the hospital to visit a friend, and accidentally saw Ari. He hurriedly chased after her, but she disappeared. After that, 𝙍𝙗 was extremely suspicious. He knew that only the monk could answer his questions. So 𝙍𝙗 poured gasoline on himself and threatened the monk. Seeing that, there was no way, this monk had to tell the truth. It turned out that Ari didn't say anything and left quietly for treatment. And her current health condition was becoming more and more serious. Maybe she didn't have much longer to live. After knowing Ari's address, 𝙍𝙗 rushed to find her. When seeing 𝙍𝙗, Ari wasn't surprised at all. Ari said she was an alien and was waiting for a spaceship to pick her up. That way she would be able to return to her planet. And she hoped that when she was gone, 𝙍𝙗 would be able to smile and say goodbye to her. Hearing that, 𝙍𝙗 just kept quiet and didn't say anything. After that, they talked happily as before. Suddenly Ari's illness got worse. 𝙍𝙗 quickly took Ari to the hospital. That night, 𝙍𝙗 stood in the rain all night. He didn't know what to do to save Ari. Then he thought of Ari saying that if someone had taken a picture of a mysterious circle, that person could call an alien spaceship. And this was probably Ari's last hope. In order to make that drawing, 𝙍𝙗 started cutting the grass continuously. After several days of hard work, the mysterious photo had finally been completed. After knowing about it, Ari ignored the doctor's advice and immediately ran out of the hospital. At this time, Ari leaned on 𝙍𝙗's strong shoulder. They quietly sat next to each other within that circle, and together waited for the miracle to appear. Although they waited for a long time, the miracle still didn't appear. Finally, both of them were very heartbroken and burst into tears. But when they were most desperate, suddenly the lights around the magic circle started flickering. And there was a halo appearing in the sky. Maybe the spaceship had arrived and Ari was about to leave. She burst into tears and said her last goodbye to 𝙍𝙗. She then disappeared along with the spaceship. Many years later, 𝙍𝙗 opened a sushi restaurant in his hometown. He was still silently waiting for the girl he loved to appear. Everyone said Ari was dead. But 𝙍𝙗 was still hoping that she had returned to her planet. On a planet where she wouldn't have to suffer anymore. Perhaps this was a rescue for Ari. And that also seemed to be the best ending for 𝙍𝙗.